A man hit a target he could not see? That's a pretty good question. Here's another one. How can you hit a target you do not have? Besides, planes are built for flying. Ships are built for sailing. Houses are built for living. And man, too, was built for purpose. He was designed for accomplishment. He's engineered for success. He's endowed with the seeds of greatness. And the greatest danger we as human beings have is when we do not do anything at all. People today complain of lack of time. It's not lack of time that's the problem. It's the lack of direction. Are you a wandering generality? Or are you a meaningful, specific? Are you going to work tomorrow because that's what you did yesterday? If that's the reason you're going tomorrow, you won't be as good tomorrow as you were yesterday because you're 2 days older and no closer to the goal you do not have. What about you personally? Have you got your goals laid out? Are you a meaningful, specific, or are you a wandering generality?
See, you are part of an equation, and you are needed. Part of why we should begin to look at how we give up our lives, that we've got to begin to see, what is it that I'm supposed to do? What is my life work? And then give ourselves to that. Because as we do that, ladies and gentlemen, I guarantee you, as you begin to take on this new era that we're in, if you decide that I'm going to begin to start living life, I'm going to start giving more of myself, I'm going to start putting out more, contributing more to life, here's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you that life will take on a whole new meaning for you. I guarantee you that life takes on a whole new dimension, that you'll be happier, you have a greater sense of happiness and fulfillment in life, that now you will begin to take off on some new paths to some newer horizons, that you'll begin to see life totally different than most people.
You got to have those long-range goals. And the rule is a simple one. You go as far as you can see. And when you get there, you'll always be able to see further. Are you a wandering generality? Or are you a meaningful, specific?
And most of us go through life because we're not using that which we've been given, that we are punished, that we're going through life getting up in the morning with no reason to get up. There's a scripture, when I heard it, I couldn't understand it. I say, how cold? He that hath shall get, and he that hath not, even that he has shall be taken away. He that hath a generous view of life, he that has courage, he that hath initiative, he that hath resourcefulness.
I say it with all of my heart. I know in my mind that man was designed for accomplishment, that he's engineered for success, that he is endowed with the seeds of greatness.
You're listening to TW3 Radio, inspiring, informative, and entertaining talk and music for the entrepreneur and small business owner.
Why is it that people don't want to grow? Why is it that they just settle for being less than what they are capable of being? Why is it they shy away from doing their stuff and challenging themselves and taking life on and making it an exciting adventure? Why is it? Because living your dream, it's hard, ladies and gentlemen. It's hard living your dream. We are in charge of our attitudes. And when you're in charge of your attitude, you say, if it's hard, then do it hard. I won't allow this to stop me. I don't have the option of easy. I don't have the option, and I don't think you do, or any of us do, of going around trying to find a dream that's a little dream that doesn't require much responsibility or not too stressful or won't be too much of a hassle. No, no, no. I am convinced that life is 10% of what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it. An optimist sees an opportunity in every calamity. A pessimist sees a calamity in every opportunity. What can make it okay? Your attitude about it. That you decide that this is not going to determine who I am. Charles Swindoll said about attitude, he said, the longer I live, the more I realize the impact attitude has on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures and successes, than what other people think or say or do. It is more important than appearances, giftedness, or skill. The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing we can do is play the one string we have, and that is our attitude.
If there's anything in life that you don't currently have right now, it's because of who you are and how you think. And I know you're strong enough to do it because you're human. And every human has what it takes to get past whatever they're going through if they decide to. Push through it. Push through it. Tragedy and trials come to everybody. Only the strong survive. Y'all running from pain. Y'all running from challenges. You telling me how difficult your life is. Do you understand it is the difficulty that's going to prepare you and take you to that next level? I'm here just like you here, and I promise you, I ain't leaving without the degree. I will not leave without that goal. I will not leave without that dream. I will not leave this university until I'm successful. I will not leave this job. I will not leave this client. I will not leave this opportunity until I get it.
You're listening to TW3 Radio, inspiring, informative, and entertaining talk and music for the entrepreneur and small business owner.
Look what you did there, and you can't do that. And who are you, Terry? Who are you to go and talk to hundreds of people about business? You're a failure. You went bankrupt. Well, let me tell you something. I figured out a way not to do business. And you need to know this. And Les tells a story about where he was playing Connect 4. I don't know if y'all know Connect 4, but it's this little checkers game that you play. And he's playing with his son, and he's playing. He played for hours with his son. And he says, son, I'm ready to go to bed. I'm tired. He says, Dad, one more game.
Welcome to TerryWilson3.com, home of TW3, the most powerful marketing tools, training, and technology on planet Earth. Get ready to earn, enjoy, and experience more than you ever dreamed was possible. If you're tired of just getting by and ready to really thrive, then buckle in and listen up. Here's your host, Terry Wilson.
Thank you, Keith, and welcome to TerryWilson3.com. And we also want to welcome our new stream audience over on TW3Radio.com that's listening to this live stream right now on your laptop, your desktop, or your app. Welcome aboard. We're streaming at 9 o'clock on Monday nights over at TW3Radio.com. So if you ever miss the live show on YouTube or Facebook or on my website at TerryWilson3.com, you can always go over to TW3Radio.com and stream it there, along with other shows that come on right after this. And Reagan and River, we got approved this week. Got the email this morning, actually, Monday morning on January 18th, that the Apple's iTunes store has approved our app. So it should be populated in the Apple store sometime this week. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you want to go look for TW3 Radio as an app, it's only on iOS right now. We'll have it up on Android hopefully within the coming weeks. But you can stream all of the content that we have here at TW3, and not just me. We got Miss Spelling V coming on board. Her show will start in February. We got Tom from Chi-Town. He's got a show that he's launching in February. Miller Time, his show. Matter of fact, today, January 18th, is, of course, Martin Luther King's birthday, and Chris Miller has got a special show dedicated that comes on tomorrow at 6. Let me make sure I get that right because I don't want to misquote that. Let me go over TW3 Radio right now just to make sure, because anytime I start quoting times and stuff like that, I screw it up always.
That's correct.
It is tomorrow at 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is Tuesday, 6 p.m. is the leader tree, strong roots and strong skills is what it takes. And so that's what he works on. And he's got a special show coming up tomorrow night where he highlights Martin Luther King and John F. Kennedy as well. And so that's going to be great. And if you've got the app, of course, you can listen to that. And then on later on that evening, Tuesday at 7, of course, my buddy down there in Georgia, Coach Bobby Christie, who was a high school baseball, been in baseball for 60 years. I know you don't like baseball, so I'm talking to River right now. But knows some of the Greg Maddox, Tom Glavine, knows Paul Bird. He knows all the people that we look up to and love. And he's been in pitching and all that. He says, my claim to fame is in 60 years of baseball, no pitcher ever got hurt while I was coaching him. So he knows how to condition his athletes to where they don't get hurt. So he's got a show coming on. His show is Inside Pitch, and his will be on 7 o'clock tomorrow. But you can get all of the schedules and stuff over at tw3radio.com. Of course, we got Linda the Legend out there on the left coast. We love her and pick on her. And her show is Insights with Linda, and it's on Thursdays at 7. And so we got that going on. So got a lot of great stuff. And that's just one of the business assets you have when you become a member at TW3 is we put you in a position where if you want your own radio platform and app, you get to share on our app and our platform and put your show out there with an audience that's already coming in and streaming. So it's pretty cool. Now, boys, I hear you guys had a busy weekend. Did something happen this weekend?
No.
Nothing happened, nothing special?
Not at all.
So you guys just hanging around the house, didn't do?
Just, I watched PBS this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Any TED Talks?
A couple of TED Talks. No, I had my bachelor party this weekend. It was fun. I had a good time.
All right.
It was really fun.
That is as much detail as
No, the people want to know.
I plead the fifth on the rest.
I want to know.
Bachelor party.
I want to know what happened. I want to know who was involved.
I won't say any names, but TED Talks did actually happen. If you get enough people around each other that are opinionated and
and share different worldviews,
a little bit of liquid courage, then people want to talk about things, and it's
people want to share.
So I live in a pretty nice apartment. I share it with 4 other people. That's why I know it's a nice apartment, because 4 people have to pay for this apartment. But it's got a really
expensive taste. The only way to afford it.
It's a very expensive apartment that it takes 4 people to fund. But it's got a really nice living room, and it's really, really open. And then there's really high ceilings. So it's kind of good for like a speaking platform almost.
You almost felt like you're in a stadium.
Yeah. And so I've got,
or a concert hall.
Here's the best way to put it. 2019, 2020 was a divisive year. I think everybody knows that. I know it's crazy. I've got a lot of friends from Wofford College, certain side of the aisle. I've got a lot of good old boys from South Carolina. You can just assume what their political beliefs are.
Yeah.
And then you get them all.
That's profiling.
Now, that being said, though, everybo's still friends. It was a good time. Like we all.
That's what makes it's supposed to be that way.
Yeah, we had some really good conversations, and that was probably towards the end. We also just played video games and played board games and stuff.
So I heard you guys went from debating the existence of God to the merits of being either invested in precious metals or the currency, our current currency, and futures there. So there was a great debate there.
Yeah.
And I guess the debate of God was the theological debate. Did any political debates? You don't have to get in detail, but just
I don't remember if we got there.
What's amazing to me is I'm hearing you guys describe the TED Talks in the soapbox.
Well, here's how it happened. We got a really big couch, and one person would get up and just talk to everybody on the couch. And I think it started as it wasn't really a TED Talk. It was a hot take. Everybody like, what's something you think that, for example, we have one friend, he says it jokingly, but he's kind of serious. He's like, why is South Africa a thing? Just make it Africa, everything. And that's kind of like his.
I've got a point.
So that's kind of where it started. But then it got into a little bit more serious. And then, you know, it's fun though. It was a good time.
That is great. Well, it's good that you can be in a diverse audience like that and everybody's friends.
Yeah.
And have a, and I, you know, the reason that works is because you're in the same room together. So you know when something's tongue in cheek.
Yep.
You know when something's serious because you said it got heated a couple times.
I would recommend everybody, if you're going to do the whole Facebook arguing thing, try and meet the person and do it.
Yeah.
And also,
it'd be a whole different thing if we were behind a keyboard.
Exactly, because attitudes would have been different.
You know, and if you're of legal drinking age, maybe take them out to a bar. Both enjoy the time, and then you have a little bit
That's when the best debates happen, is when...
Because you feel like you can say a few more things than you probably would otherwise.
I mean, it's almost cliche to go out to a bar and hear somebody solve the world's problem.
Why is South Africa?
I got an opinion. Well, this is great. Well, tonight is episode 449, and we're talking about play to win. And boys, you guys are sports fans like I am. And the whole premise of tonight's show is there's a attitude difference, and I'm using sports as a metaphor, but it happens in baseball. What's the worst thing that can happen to a team in baseball? They get a big lead in the first couple innings. Why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because they get too confident. They just
it's just almost
changes. Yeah,
they lay down. I mean, it's hard to emotionally keep up. Some of those heartbreaking games I've seen is where the Braves would get up 10 runs in the first, second, or third inning.
They lose it,
and then they lose it because the other team is like, "Well, we're just going to one couple runs."
In the first inning, just like a year or so ago, you guys.
Oh, and that was another one. That was the playoffs.
You guys still lost that one, though, right?
Yeah.
They got way ahead real early.
It just fell apart. We collapsed like a folding lawn chair.
So here's what you're really saying. If you're going to get far ahead, get really far ahead. Just make the other team basically not want to play.
What we did earlier where we got, what was it, 28-0 or something like that?
Yeah, last year we scored, we almost broke the record for how many runs scored in one.
Jeez.
In a baseball game.
And it happens in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, Dean Smith changed the game of basketball simply with his four corners.
Mm-hmm.
Because what he would do,
which, if you think about it, like
his keep away, he turned it into keep away.
Yeah, he played monkey in the middle.
Yeah, you know, he basically said, "Okay, we're gonna get a couple buckets ahead, and then just run out the clock."
Yeah,
you know, so that changed the dynamics and the psychology of the sport. And football is the same way when you get into this prevent defense mentality. But anytime you're in this position where I'm trying to protect what I've got rather than score and stay on an offensive pasture, you're automatically in a vulnerable position because now you're on defense the whole time. Psychologically, what happens is you've put yourself on defense. And so we use sports as a metaphor, but the thrust of tonight and what we're going to be talking about in segment 2 coming up in just a second here is 2020, because of all of just the crazy, it's put a lot of us on a psychological defensive posture. I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try not to get too far extended here. I'm not going to. And I think right now, because it's just proven, you see guys see the numbers coming in. The ones who are out there saying, nope, it's pedal to the metal. We're going to get going again. And 2020 is behind us, and put it in the rearview mirror and treat 2021 like a new year. Mm. Instead of being on defense, just intellectually and emotionally, I'm getting back on offense. We're seeing some record-breaking numbers come in. And honestly, what's changed? Nothing.
Yeah.
Except the attitude, which drives the activity, which is manifesting the results.
Yeah.
So in segment 2 tonight, that's what I'm going to be talking about, is some mindset hacks and some emotional things that I would give you that I've had to do myself. Because listen, I'm not here saying, you shouldn't feel the effects of being hunkered down for the last year, or all of the nonsense that's been on TV, whether it be politics, whether it be stuff that's going on in the inner cities this past year, all of that's had a psychological effect on people.
For sure.
On either side of the spectrum.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's more reserved, cautious,
scared, and untrusting of one another. That's why I was just so thrilled to hear you say during your party there and your bachelor party that you had someone that was educated on this side of the argument with the whole theological thing, and then you had someone else that was passionate, maybe not as equipped to defend their position, but they walked away friends. I mean, that's healthy. And so I would be remiss not to quote something from Dr. King, who says, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Injustice anywhere is a threat to injustice everywhere. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." And so tonight we're talking about stop being silent about your life. I almost was going to toy with a phrase. I said, no, it's still a little too hot right now. But I was going to allude to a popular hashtag going on right now in certain political circles about stopping something. And I was like, nah, I'm just not going to. I'm just going to stay away from that because it's just too hot right now. But I will put it this way. Don't allow current events, because I was just going to play off a phrase. Don't allow current events and past events rob you from what you can do this coming year, because you can have, and people already are having. And I want to show you some ways as we get into segment 2 tonight of how you can put what happened in 2020 behind you psychologically and emotionally, so you can look forward with not some sort of Pollyannish, pie in the sky, not even treating reality as such. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about being so positive that you're just outside of reality. I'm talking about seeing things for the way they are, but seeing the opportunity in those things and being able to take those things and make it an asset rather than a liability. But before we do that, I think River and then Reagan's got some announcements, and then we'll get into segment 2.
All right. So if you want to share the podcast with hashtag TW3 podcast 449, we'll make sure to look at that in the end for our giveaways. And
share it on your social media platforms, Facebook, and what else do we normally check? Twitter is probably the most common.
Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Or MySpace.
Don't do it on MySpace. Yeah. And I can't remember which segment it's in. I think it's either 3 or 4, but we're taking questions as well.
3. Yeah.
So if you got any questions, go ahead and send them into the chat. We've got a lot of members that typically kind of take it upon themselves to answer for us, which is awesome.
That is awesome.
So if you'll send those in, we'll typically have a few people down there helping you out, and they can hopefully answer it for you. The only thing we do ask is that you keep it clean, positive, and relevant. And if you're not going to do any of those things, we make an exception if it's funny. So
does it have to be funny?
It does. Well, if it's going to be vulgar, yeah.
Now, don't be vulgar, but you can use some language to get a point across if you have to. Well, guys, when we get back in segment 2, we're going to get into how you can play to win in 2021 and how other people are already doing it, and you can as well when we get back right after this.
Hi, Tom Sellers here. Tom from Chi-Town, as many of you may know me as, if you've heard my voice or seen this mug. I'm here to let you know I'm launching a brand new podcast on the TW3 Radio Network. That podcast is called No Quarter, and you'll be able to hear it on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on TW3Radio.com. Let me tell you really quick what to expect. First thing is, I am not a psychologist. I do not do that. But I do know how to change thinking, mine and others. I am not a guru, nor do I want to be known as a guru, but I help a lot of people across the country to start or improve existing home-based, and in some cases, brick-and-mortar businesses. I am definitely an entrepreneur, have been for the past 6 years. In spirit a lot longer. I know as many ways to fail as I do to succeed. I probably know more ways to fail. I'd like to invite you to listen to the show, No Quarter. We're going to talk about things like this and other things, and here's why. All of us have similar experiences. All of us have been stuck. All of us have been successful. All of us have had things that are thrown against us, and we find a way to fight through them. Those are what we want to talk about. I don't want to lecture. I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk with you. So join me 7 o'clock on Thursdays, 7 o'clock Eastern, for No Quarter on the TW3RadioNetwork.com. Thank you, and I look forward to talking with you.
You're listening to TerryWilson3.com. Inspiring, informative, and entertaining content for the entrepreneur and small business owner. And now, back to the TW3 studios with Terry Wilson.
All right, we're back. So let's go ahead and get into the training.
So there was this Christian apologist that I like to follow, and his main thrust is to go around on college campuses. This is back in the 90s and early 2000s, and debate the professors there, either in the philosophy department or the religious department, legal departments and different things. There's this famous debate that took place in Harvard University where this apologist was debating a pretty famous an attorney there, professor of law there, that is on TV a lot. A lot of people know this gentleman. He is of Jewish nationality or ethnicity, I should say, and he's in his faith he proclaims to be atheist. So he agreed to debate this Christian apologist, and the rules of the debate was very simple. Each person could frame and ask a question however they chose to the other one, and the other one had so much time to answer it, and they would go back and forth. There wasn't any moderator asking the questions, but each one got to ask each other a question, and they had so much time to answer it. And so the atheist attorney posed the question that is the sort of the higher question that a lot of people in philosophy and people that have a difficult time with agreeing with or believing in the God of the Bible, at least the Judeo-Christian representation of God, posed the question this way. He said, if your God is all-powerful, all-knowing, and all good, in other words, he's omnipresent, omnibenevolent, and omniscient, then where is the breakdown in those three? Something can't be right if he's all of this and then there's suffering and hurting and pain in the world. And he asked the question, so how can God be omniscient, omnipotent, and omnibenevolent, which is a high intellectual way of saying how can God be good and also be all-powerful, all-knowing when there's so much pain and suffering. And so that was his question, and I love the way the apologist, and by the way, in full disclosure, I'm a believer, and I'm not trying to persuade anybody here other than there's a mindset here that I want you to hear that was revealed in this. Christian apologist said, I'll answer your question, but you have to ask me the right way. Now, the attorney here and the professor of law said, the rules of the debate are clear. I can ask you any question I want, any way I want, and you have to answer it. And the Christian apologist said, I know, and I apologize, but I really need it asked a different way because the way you frame the question, it's impossible for me to answer. And he said, you know what? I just want to see where this rabbit goes. So how would you have me ask the question? And I love what the Christian apologist said here. He said, the question isn't, why does bad things happen to good people? Because that's what you're asking, right? He goes, yes. He said, the question is, why does anything good happen to any of us? See, what he's doing is he's challenging the premise of the question, which is this. I'm owed, I'm deserved, I should have whatever. And he's going right to the root of the problem, which is our mindset hack tonight in developing a winning attitude, and that's this, gratitude. The question isn't why does bad things happen to good people, but if he is an all-knowing God and he knows exactly every single thing you and I do, say, or think, then why do we get to draw our next breath? So what he did is he flipped the script for just a moment. And I'm not trying to here to proselytize anyone. That's between you and your Lord, or you and your conscience, or you and your whatever. But I am saying this. When I have an attitude of gratitude, it's a psychological fact by a lot of people way smarter than me that says, I then open my mind to be able to see reality for what it is. You see, you cannot have an attitude of, I am this has been done, I'm wrong, the world owes me, and at the same time, see all of the opportunity ahead of you and all the things that you could do. Psychologically, it's incompatible. Your eyes will never see it. So the point is this, life has been hard, especially this past year. But if you don't want to repeat a 2020, then we have to think differently in 2021. And I submit to you that the first thing we can do is say, Lord, thank you, I made it another day. And if you're not a Christian, not a believer, I just want to thank the universe. I want to express an attitude. I want to express a mindset that, you know what? The worst did not happen. And I just believe that I can have a better year this year simply by being grateful. One of the things that we always do in our mastermind is we go around the table before we get started and say, what's your win of the week? The reason we do this is because it's on purpose. If I'm going to give you new strategies, new ways of doing your business, some insights on how to do marketing better, some insights on how to be more influential, some insights on whatever it is the subject we're covering, you are not receptive to hear it until the conscience, the mind, is in this state of receiving. And the best way you can put your mind in a state of receiving is condition it to say, you know, I am just so grateful. I am so thankful. I am so in awe that I get to do what I do. I'm telling you, Zig was right when he said it. An attitude of gratitude will take you to new altitudes. You know, the U.S. Air Force did a study several years ago in Miramar there in San Diego, and it was trying to figure out which is the best way to train and condition fighter pilots to anticipate what was going on. So they took them out on a course. In one set, they put in cars, some fast cars out in the desert, and they said, we want you to focus on this obstacle course and all the obstacles in front of you to go around. We want you to anticipate when that obstacle is going to get there. We want you to anticipate where it's at in proximity to your car. We want you to focus on the obstacles so that you can miss them at high speeds, because you can't, they gave them a speed limit. You can't go under the speed limit, and this is a race. And they incentivized the race. That was one group. The next group, they did right opposite. They said, we do not want you to focus on the obstacles in front of you. We want you to focus on the space in between them, and always target toward the space in between these obstacles. Your speed limit, they actually raised a little bit. Your speed limit is this, and you have to be in a certain amount of time. They made it tougher on them, but they changed their focus. And they did this both ways. You're not going to believe what happened. The people that had to focus on the space in between their obstacles always did better. There's an old saying we say, what you focus on, you become, or what you behold, you become. What are you focused on? You cannot do business. You cannot go to the next level if you're always focused on your obstacles. If you're always focused on the things that's holding you back. If you're always focused on the negativity. You have got to focus on the opportunity in front of you. The space in between the obstacles is what you focus on. And focus means this: follow one course until you're successful. So many entrepreneurs do not focus. And the reason is because they've been designed by the good Lord, I believe, or whoever you believe in. They have been designed to understand, to have a sensitivity toward, and to see opportunity. Well, a good entrepreneur, especially in times like this, there's opportunity all around you. So you lose focus. Hey, I could do this. I could do this. I could do this. Hey, I could do this. Instead, follow one course until successful and always focus on the space in between your obstacles. In business, even in 2020, I have spent a ton of money. I spent thousands of dollars on a CRM that we could use in our back office for all our members. I improved several things and several systems and plugins. We spent a little over $100,000 last year at TW3 to improve the quality of content, to improve the quality of tools and everything else for our members. But here's the one thing I spent money on that I'm telling you I'm to this day and reaping benefits on. I spent a little over $2,500 a month on personal coaching. I'm not saying that to say, hey, look at me, this is that. I'm saying this. Mentorship, coaching is basically investing in yourself. Good Book says that wisdom is found in a multitude of counsel. Good Book also says that wisdom is the seed bed that anything of value grows from. In other words, if I want money, don't go after money, go after wisdom. The wisdom will tell me how to get the money. Wisdom comes from people that have gone where you want to go, that are where you're at in different areas of life. I'm losing weight. I'm healthier. I'm streamlining my business better. I'm able to impact people more, give them more value simply because I took the time to try to become a better version of me. And I want to tell you, just because someone has a headshot, just because someone has a nice look, doesn't make them a coach. All of those things are important. I'm not downplaying that. But be careful, because everyone that says coach might not be a coach. They're just a poach. And what I mean by that is, if someone's supposed to tell you how to lose weight and they're 400 pounds, they might not be able to help you. If someone's wanting to tell you how to live a happier, more fulfilled life, but they're on every type of medication to help depression and everything, I'm not criticizing it. They can't help you. If someone is wanting to tell you how to generate leads, become more influential online, but the way you came about them is they came through another avenue and they're poaching you from this group or this group, they may not be able to help you. So just because I tell you and advocate go after a coach, I'm telling you go after coaches that have credibility, because that's the folks that's going to be able to help you. And my folks that we have here at TW3, I put my name behind them because I see the results of what their business is doing and what their clients' businesses are doing. So always be careful there. Fourth and finally, I'm going to tell you, if you want to be in a winning posture this year, you got to be in good health, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Okay? I'm just flat out honest with you. I've done well for over a decade online in business, but I didn't do as well as I could. Why? Wasn't in good physical health. I was good mental health. But you know what? Even my mental health suffered because I wasn't physically feeling as good as I could. I'm not where I want to be right now. I'm telling you that. I've still got a ways to go, but I am nowhere near where I was, and I'm already reaping the benefits both spiritually and mentally because I'm taking care of physically, and vice versa. What I do every day is 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night. I get alone, I get quiet, and I simply meditate. I simply shut everything down, shut the system down, take every thought captive, be still and know that I am God, is what the psalmist says. If you're not a believer, here's how that applies to you. Number one, you can't be still until you just be. So many of us are conditioned, especially in the workplace and everything else, that our value is what we do. But you know, you're not called a human doer. You're called a human being. So simply be. Be happy with who you are. Be happy with how you look. Be happy with who God made you. Be happy with you. There's something unique in business that happens. When you're okay with you, you give the listener, the looker, the audience to be okay with you. So many times people are not happy with who they are or not secure in who they are. What you don't realize is sometimes your timidity, your bashfulness other people are misinterpreting. They're not interpreting it as, oh, they're just being bashful or they're just being shy. They're saying, what are they hiding? And it's hurting you in business. The best thing you can do for your clients, the best thing you can do for your family, the best thing you can do for your community is be a better version of you and be okay with who you are. So be. Once you can be, then you can learn to be still. And once you can be still, then the world opens up. You can know that I am. And the great I am reveals who he is, what he does, how he does it, and opens up the windows of the universe so you can have an inside track of how you can take the next step to prosper in your life. But that verse means nothing to a believer or non-believer if they can't start off with just be.
Say goodbye to 2020 and hello to 2021. It's time to target our goals for this year, like the goal to be successful. We can do this by exploring new things, following influential people, and giving back to get more. Maybe our goal is to get to know ourselves better by reading more or listening to things which inspire us, to push ourselves and follow through so that we can be our best self and get ahead to feel great. So whatever your goals for 2021, find what you're looking for at theleadertree.com, where leadership grows. So check us out Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern at tw3radio.com and theleadertree.com, because strong roots build stronger skills.
He can't guarantee you success, but he sure can help you eliminate the excuses made so far for not achieving them. Now back to the TW3 studio with Terry Wilson.
All right, we're back again. Now we have our questions. So these first few questions came in from email. Go ahead and get to these. Question 1, how can I get started with no money down?
Yeah, special financing is the best way. We've got, especially if you got a PayPal account. Are they still, do you know if they're doing the no money down thing?
PayPal?
Yeah. I think if you go to paypal.com/credit, you can go over there and
I think they are.
Yeah. And this is cool, man. I mean, no payments, no interest for 6 months. And then it gives you long enough time to get one of our platforms, whether you come in into SRT, plus level rep and trainer or elite rep and trainer, get the system, learn it, use it, start making money with it, and then pay it off. So it's really cool. And I do want to encourage you, Reagan, we forgot to announce in segment 1, and I meant to. The elite membership is going up $500. So if you have considered becoming an elite member, you want to do that sooner than later, because at the end of this month, because of some of the new add-ons, plugins, cost of hosting, some of the things we've done with the CRM and stuff like that, it's just driven the cost up. And that is the one package for the last several cycles when prices was going up on other packages. We sort of left alone. Well, we can't do that anymore and absorb some of the cost. So we have had to go up on the elite package there. So just make sure that you consider that and get with your sales rep and trainer or plus rep and trainer or elite rep and trainer, whoever you're working with here at TW3. If you do want to become an elite member, which I would strongly recommend, because that gives you all of the marketing assets and the tools and things that you can do to make money with TW3 and not even make a sale. So absolutely.
Cool. Second question here. Do all members get a radio program?
All members do, not all members, all members can. I mean, it's afforded to them, but you have to produce it and everything and get us the file, and we will give you space on the platform. Now, we don't highlight every member simply because, you know, people are at different places in their entrepreneurial journey and have different abilities to communicate and the experiences. But if you want and so desire to do that, go ahead and start producing shows, getting in there. We'll put it on the regular rotation. And then if it's something that we feel and you feel it's a really help to your business and your platform, we'll even start highlighting it like we have done other members. Okay. But we have picked out 5 this year that have been regularly producing content, or their content that they started producing was already of a quality that we wanted to highlight. And so I just don't want to give everybody the same expectations that they're going to be able to be highlighted like the 5 that we've picked out.
Sure.
But if you're bringing the heat and there's great content on your show, and we're seeing traffic, because we'll give you a time slot and you can start sending your traffic at Tuesdays at 3 in the afternoon or whatever. I don't know when it'd be, but we start seeing traffic from it and the content's great, we'll put you on the podcast with us like we did the other 5, you know, and we're going to be doing it because at the end of the day, we want to promote good content. And so it helps us and you.
I do want to do a show. The question is, the things I know about, what is anybody really interested in?
See, you would think that, but here's the deal. You are going to be able to reach an age group. You're going to be able to reach an attitude, and you're going to be able to reach a cultural interest that your dad is just too hokey, old, or white to be able to do.
Well, we'll see. I'm still thinking about it.
Not that your ethnicity is.
Yeah, I'm whiter than you. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you're more hip to what's going on with culture. And
I want the Adult Swim time slot. So this is for all people my age, but if you ever watch Cartoon Network, you could watch it from like 3 p.m. until 9 p.m. and then 9 p.m. kids went to bed, so they put on Adult Swim, and it was just like the
King of the Hill
B tier list of like cartoons that were for adults that nobody really wanted to watch. There's a lot of like really good gems that came out of that.
Yeah.
I want that time slot.
Well, I love radio because, and podcast, and even though we're streaming and we put a lot of time, effort, and energy, in our podcast to make it in video format as well, because we're doing training. And so sometimes in training, especially segment 2 is normally where our training part takes place, visual aids help, in that regard. But in all other matters, being conversational and talking. I mean, how many times have you guys been on a treadmill or working back in the back and you just pop on some headphones and it's just, it's relaxing.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. 3rd question here. Final email question. What is the best way to get started in earning fast?
Fastest, easiest way is to get our system and start talking to use the system to drive traffic to you and talk to as many people as you can.
Yeah.
Okay. And then as you start getting really skilled at speaking with people and discerning who is your target audience, then start automating some of those processes.
For sure.
But don't try to start, so many people try to put their entire business on autopilot before they know even what their business is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You sort of know who your audience is now because you've been doing it long enough. So you know who you like to speak with. And and it's not that you don't like other people or you're
but there's
being
a certain
discriminative.
market that I can like inform, and then there's another market that either they're talking over me or I'm talking over them.
You're not connecting.
Yeah.
And you might as well be wise about it,
For sure.
Because as that conversation is of higher value to them and you, then both parties are helped, and it's fruitful time spent because you only have so much time during a week. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, when we get back right after this, we will announce a winner chicken dinner.
Looking for it now.
River is over on social media. He's on MySpace right now. He's in Snapchat. He's over there in Clubhouse. He's everywhere looking.
I can tell you don't use Snapchat.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever I don't know what Snapchat is.
Hashtag.
Every chat I've ever had, I've never snapped at. But anyway, we'll be back right after this.
Boomer.
Are you like 98% of people who've tried a home-based business and didn't work out the way you wanted? Most home-based businesses and most people who try a home-based business have a hard time, and here's the reason why. It's not about them. They can do it. You can do it. But you're set to fail right from the get-go because you lack one unique thing you gotta have, and that is a means a method, mechanism, in other words, a way of getting in front of people who need what you have, who want what you have a desire for it that you can sell to. When you have the TW3 marketing system, you have everything you need to get in front of as many people as you want on demand and make money. And here's the other beautiful thing. You're selling products of high commission. You're gonna make anywhere from $750 up to $18,000. If you get 25 qualified leads that come through your sales system and funnel that we teach you how to set up at TW3, you are going to sell one and you're going to make a minimum of $750. That's the power of TW3. That's the power of our system. That's why so many people have been with us for so long after all of these years online. Tools have changed. Technology has changed. The training has changed. But one thing that hasn't changed is the ability to get in front of people, and that's why you can make money at TW3. If you had to properly follow up with every single lead you had, how long would it take you? How effective would you be? And can you do it on their time frame that's right for them? The power of the CRM Max by TW3 is it allows you to put all of your sales process on automation. That way, when you're asleep, when you're in bed, your system is working for you. It's following up. It's responding as they respond. It's being triggered based on their activity. It's sending them the sales information they're needing. It's following up with the information after it's sent out. It's sending it in email and text format, and it even can do, in some instances, voice broadcast as well. That is the power of the CRM Max at TW3, and that is why our members, one person, can generate business that it usually takes an agency to do, because we have the tools, the training, the technology, and more importantly, the know-how on how to do it.
Don't laugh. It just encourages them.
And now back to our show with Terry Wilson.
All right. I'll figure out which one of these buttons work here in a minute. So guys, we hope you've gotten a lot out of tonight. Want to encourage you guys, if you want to make 2021 a better year, then do something different. Daily activities, what I was going into in the training in segment 2, and some of those mindset things to do on a daily basis to refocus and get excited about what you're doing. Do those things. It might sound oversimplistic at times, but every winning coach I've ever studied behind, whether it be John Wooden, Dean Smith, any of these guys, any winning coach has always told me it's the fundamentals that wins the game. And in entrepreneurialism and in life, mindset and how we think and what we internalize and what we focus on and our daily activities, those are the fundamentals that are going to help us win the game. So talking about winning, I think River has got somebody. Riblet.
We got Michelle Hansen. Welcome. And
he's looking for the clapping.
I'm looking for the clapping. Yeah.
All right, there it is.
No, that's the wrong one.
It's not even close.
There it is.
There we go.
This is not a professional podcast.
This is not professional at all. Yeah, one day I'm gonna learn. Your dad will learn how to do this. Michelle, congratulations on winning You Are Worth More. And by the way, guys, if you want to get the book that Michelle just got, you can go over to my website, youareworthmorebook.com, or just go to terrywilson3.com. If you go to terrywilson3.com and sign up for our newsletter, you can get this book, the first 4 chapters, for free, just to check it out. And then if you like what you see, and it's done through the Kindle service, so you got to have a Kindle. And if you don't have a Kindle, you say, well, I got an iPhone, you can go get the Kindle app in the iTunes store and get that app, and then it'll allow you to read Kindle products and stuff like that. So I don't have a Kindle. I've got an iPhone and I've got an iPad, but I got the Kindle app so that I can read Kindle things and stuff like that. So anywho, well, what's the plans for the week, guys?
Take calls.
Read scripts.
Well, I don't do that anymore.
You got it memorized.
It's in my head. But take calls. and hopefully make some sales. That's my goal for the week.
There you go. Well, you'll do it. You'll do it. Well, guys, thank y'all for tuning in tonight, and we will catch you guys next Monday night. And Reagan, I guess you got you're free for about another month and a week. 7 days and 1 month. You're still free, and then
nothing will change.
Nah, it'll be good. You'll enjoy life.
I'm excited.
Best decision I ever made was marrying your mom. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you for listening to TerryWilson3.com today. If you've decided you are worth more, then go to TerryWilson3.com now and get a free digital sample copy of the book. You are worth more. Listen, no one's going to give you what you're worth but you. So stop putting off and get started earning, enjoying, and experiencing what you are worth today. Go to TerryWilson3.com now to start your journey today. That's TerryWilson3.com.